Dean was a ripoff, The Sopranos. I mean, there's nothing new under the sun. Everything that happened in The Sopranos, Shakespeare already wrote about. But it's okay. You might as well update it every couple hundred years. I like The Sopranos. Fun movies, series. As long as you think, God, I sure hope I don't ever cross paths with these people. No, and you feel sorry for things like the convenience store guy, the Indian guy who comes out of his store to see this garbage truck dumping the entire load from the garbage truck onto this parking lot. And they say, "Oh, we heard you're not satisfied with our protective services. And remember what we said? We said your satisfaction guaranteed. We'll double your garbage back." Man, imagine being some poor schnook, works, 7 in the morning to 11 at night or whatever. How much does he make in a week? How much does it cost to get rid of an entire garbage truckload full of stinking, awful garbage? And these little punks. "Oh, we guarantee satisfaction guaranteed. Double your garbage back. Ha 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 ha." It's kind of humorous, but again, it wouldn't be humorous if you were trying to live and you got these guys extorting money from you. Month after month. Hey, we come to make sure you're protected. Oh, it's going to cost a little bit more this month. Oh, the cost of protection around here is a lot. Keeps going up. What can we do? Ha ha ha. Shakespeare wrote. What was it? Titus Andronicus. Titus Andronicus was a great general, hero, who won the war against the bad guys. And it would have been awful if he hadn't, because the winners are happy and the losers are usually dead or raped or pillaged. Your stuff is pillaged, or all three. It's whatever. Whatevs, baby. If you lose, life ain't nice. And, and one of the things about, in this particular time, the losing, actually to be nice to the losers, they would not just kill everybody around, like Attila or somebody would, or Vlad the Impaler. I mean, he wouldn't kill them. He'd let the stakes that were carefully put through people so it wouldn't kill them. He'd let infection set in and people screaming in agony and let them die, while he invited all the other people who were alive to a nice meal, surrounded by people on stakes in various stages of dying. The ones that were dead for a while, stinking up, and everybody had to have nice smiles on their faces. "Oh, thank you, Vlad, for giving us a nice feast with the stinking bodies around us." Is it? Well, thank you. What a fun thing, So much fun. I hope I don't wind up on the stake like my brother over there. I gotta pretend this is really cool. Wow. Sir Vlad invited us to dinner. Oh boy, hi brother. I don't think I'm going to show you any sympathy, because if I do, I'm liable to be up there with you. So, bye, brother, bye. I don't, you just scream in agony. It is a little hard for me to take, but I'm happy to be invited. Thank you, Vlad. Thank you so much for being so nice to me. That was Vlad, and he was apparently, this is real. He really did this. Titus Andronicus, I think Shakespeare used a lot of historical material, so there probably was this guy who was, but whatever, the story goes, that he comes back as a great hero, and one of the things he does, and it's a standard thing, is that he sacrifices the eldest son of the queen. I think her husband maybe was killed. Yeah. So this is the losing queen, and who had 3 sons, I think. The oldest son had to be sacrificed. It was part of the whole ceremony, and it had to be the victorious general had to go personally, and with no malice, in fact, respectfully, go and slit this guy's throat and put all his blood into a pan, which is then brought to a sacrificial fire, I think, and dumped in. So, it's part of a religious kind of thing, or politico-religious kind of routine ceremony. Thanking the god. You got to thank the gods. So you do this. So he does this, against the protestations of the queen, understandably. Don't take my son. Take me instead. He said, no, I'm sorry. I can't. You're the queen. I can't take you. I got to take your eldest son. That is the deal. And he does it. And she has a hard time accepting that fact. And plots, quite successfully, to drive this guy into such despair and misery and craziness that when he, by doing these horrible things, her sons do unbelievable things. To this guy's daughter, for example. Oh, I think it's his daughter. They get her in a field, they rape her, and then they cut off her hands and her feet and her tongue. And they tie her to like a stake. And then they put branches, a bunch of branches on each of her stubs of her hands. So that's her hands, or the branches, and I think her feet also. And then they leave her to be found by her father. No tongue, can't talk. No hands, no feet. Has to be carried around. Oh yes, that's right. Titus's sons also were kept captive. And he pleaded for their lives, just like she pleaded for her son's life. He pleads for his son's life. And this guy, I forget what his role is, but he's sort of like the queen's lover and advisor and whatever else, I don't know, chief of staff or something. And he tells the guy, he comes and says, I think we have a chance to save your son. Oh, what? The guy says, you can do it, but you have to give your hand. And so immediately Titus says, okay. And they say, come with me, and they go into the kitchen. And he does it. He takes a big cleaver and cuts off his whole hand. And the guy takes it, puts it in a little plastic Ziploc baggie. It's kind of interesting the way this movie is shot, because so kind of half modern, half ancient, Roman period, as well as like almost maybe futuristic in some ways. And so there are these mixes of things from different times. And so, like, for example, the Ziploc plastic bag. So he takes the guy's hand, and goes. And the guy Titus thinks, oh, okay, I've given my hand for my son. They bring the son. They drop him the son off. It's some vehicle that's got something in the back that's got a glass, like, cabinet, so you can see into it. And so in return for the guy's hand, he gets his son's head. So this is all to say that, the guy, Titus, is a little bit bothered by all these things happening. And he's driven mad, and he probably is somewhat mad. But he's not quite as mad as he allows people to think. He wants people to think. Especially his arch enemy, basically the woman, the queen, who's behind all this, as well as that guy. And the sons they were some nasty pieces of work. And so he he decides to really play up the role of being crazy. And, he does things like I do. He dances and sings, thinks out loud. And he does it with the intention of disarming anybody. I'm just a crazy old person. And these kids, the sons, they're not little, they're like in their 20s, I guess. They fall for it, and they taunt him. That's what he wants. He wants to be the crazy person that the bullies taunt. That's what he does. He's a smart guy. He knows what he's doing. And he gets them inside his house. And he's ready. He's all ready. He knows exactly how he's going to get these guys. Hangs them up by their hands and feet in such a way that when he makes the blood pudding, he needs to have fresh blood, hot blood. And they're set up in such a way, and he's got them hanging there. He announced a feast that he was going to give for the people, the important people, which of course included the Queen. So anyway, I'm almost to the punchline. You thought I forgot. Because remember I said back a long time ago about the blood for the blood pudding? Well, so he had arranged this feast. And actually it didn't have blood pudding, but it had various very tasty, like kind of savory pies. And he was the chef, and everybody thought it was so great that this crazy man has decided he was a general, and then he became a crazy man, and now he's a chef. And he's around this table. They've all eaten. He kind of comes out to sort of take a bow, because the food is so good, and it really is. Somebody says something. The sons. It's a pity the sons are not here to enjoy it. To which he says, they are. You're enjoying them right now. I mean, they're in the food. Ooh. And the Queen, upon realizing what he just said, kind of pushes herself back. And everybody gets a little freaked out. The frick just happened. Everybody's kind of taken in the gastronomical implications. He comes over to his daughter, it's actually his son's fiancée, but he loves her like a daughter. Gives her a kiss on the forehead and then runs her through with a big kitchen knife, designed to kill her as quickly as possible. So his killing his daughter at that moment, people were ready for something, but that was sort of not what they were expecting. And Shakespeare had a nice, knack for little twists and turns. So definitely wants to put his daughter out of her misery. He doesn't want to get killed before he can do that. So he had it all planned. The moment people understood what was going on, that's the moment he kills his daughter. And he wanted his daughter to see it, too, and hear it, before she died. He wanted her to see that, they all got to eat a little bit of those two fricking bastards who deserved every drop of blood they lost. And whereas he would have wanted to stay with her a little longer, he had had no time to lose because he had to finish the job. Goes over and runs that same knife through the Queen. And then I think he kills himself because where does one go from there, Where does one go from there?